man pours his blood, sweat, and tears into a butthole.
His butthole, sweat, and tears.
Oh no.
His butthole, sweat into his tears.
What?
Okay, stop. Save this. Save this. Save it. Save it. Save this. Save this energy.
Alright, let's get this shit
I
going.
just got a cool breeze.
A man in the early 1900s pours his blood, sweat, and tears into a theater that suffers a devastating fire. If you listen closely, can you still hear him pacing in his office? Well, pull up a chair and join us around the haunting table. Welcome back to the haunting table.
All right.
All
right. Ghost.
Yes.
Yes.
He said he was going to do that before we started recording, and I thought he was joking.
Nope.
All right.
Hell no.
Hell no.
You come at me
always
saying
a
I need to
serious
be
one.
less professional and buttholes. All right, off the bat.
Jesus Christ. All right, so that was episode 2, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. And out we go, starting the outro music. All right, welcome back, everybody. Episode 2. How are we doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah?
It is late.
Oh yeah.
It is late.
It is late.
Yes, it is. We are recording this episode quite late. Actually, I would say maybe early because it
Compared
is.
to last one.
Yeah, so compared to last week, it's a little bit early.
Yeah, but it's still late regardless. We are still tired and,
Yep.
and drinking energy drinks after a night of
I'm
ghost
drinking water
busting.
because I'm healthy.
I mean, I don't see your water,
Are we talking
but
about,
I actually have water.
I drank.
Are we talking about ghost busting or
Stop. Stop it. Stop it.
busting?
Stop it.
ghosts?
Stop it. Stop it. I know where you're going.
Ghost
with that. Stop it.
busting, ghost
Nut
nutting.
busting.
Yeah. Ghost nutting. Nice. Okay, cool. That's
Alright.
that's a reference to episode 1, everybody,
Yes.
because this is the second episode. Wow, we've made it.
Our white
We've
shirts,
made it.
dude.
We can retire after this now.
My
right?
shirt's actually white this time.
Nice.
nice.
For
It's
people
new.
that didn't know, it was his last shirt was dingy as fuck. So,
Yeah, it
was-
wasn't white. It was
It
yellow.
was off yellow.
Yeah,
He was a homeless guy,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It was almost orange. So,
Literally.
but today's episode is going to be a little different. There's not the structure for this one's going to be a little bit different. We're testing something out. We want to hear your guys' feedback as to what you would prefer. Last episode was very story based. This episode is going to be more investigation history based. So let us know what you think of the structure. I'd rather test it out within the first 2 episodes than be 50 episodes down the line and be like, oh, yeah, we've been doing it wrong. Let's go ahead and change it now that we're 50 episodes in. But yeah, so are you guys ready to get started? I'm ready to get started.
I'm going to need one thing before we go.
Okay, so I'm not going to let him finish. What?
Turn him down.
Yeah, mic check, 1, 2. Mic check,
Oh
1,
my
2.
God.
Oh, yeah!
Jesus Christ. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. All right,
Did it.
guys.
We had to make sure that
Oh,
we were
it's
hearing each other in the mics, and that's
Yeah.
kind of our mic check. So
We gotta
Yeah.
check like highs and lows and stuff, and like
they looking good?
Yeah, that was... The peaks in that were atrocious. Yeah, it's too early for me to say that word. All right, well, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started, we got that same juicy disclaimer turd to drop on your chest real quick.
You're complaining about us saying buttholes, and you said disclaimer turd twice.
No, I said juicy.
Okay.
Juicy disclaimer turd.
On your chest.
And you and buttholes is worse than that?
Absolutely not. It's all just as bad as
Yep.
everything. Yeah. So, but before we get started, of course, the disclaimer: we are not professionals. We are not professionals in anything. I'm not a professional ghost hunter, ghost buster, ghost nutter. The only thing I'm a professional at is being an idiot. Tyler is a troll, and Anthony is a cop. He's actually a cop. You know what's funny is second episode in, and we didn't even introduce ourselves.
That's
My
true.
name. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Let's just reset this whole fucking shit show.
my name.
Play
My
the intro
name
music.
is Jacob Woods. and I am accompanied by my good buddies Tyler Carroll,
Hey, you said it right.
Hey.
I'm so the one time you said
Tyler
it right.
Carell,
right,
and
cool.
Anthony Adamson.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome. All right, back to the
name's
freaking
Drew.
disclaimer. But yeah, so we're not professionals. So take everything we're doing with a grain of salt. We're just a couple of guys that like to ghost hunt, ghost bust.
Ghost Nut. I like Ghost
We
Nut.
need a logo of that on a shirt, please.
But also another thing is we every podcast we record on site for wherever the investigation is happening, but we do it with permission. We get permission from the owners, from authorities if needed. We do not condone nor advertise any type of trespassing. If you like what we do and you want to ghost hunt, ghost bust. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that every time.
Stop it.
If you want to do any sort of paranormal investigations, get permission before doing anything.
Consent.
From the building.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And the ghosts.
Yes. And then also that was for the ghost nutting part, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. And then lastly, lastly, we make jokes, we have fun. We're just three dudes razzing each other and making jokes, but we do try to make sure that we show as much respect to the parties involved. Any sort of, if there's any murders we're talking about, suicides like that, we like to, respect the dead, respect the families involved, and respect the building that we're in. So
We're complete tools, but we're not that big of tools.
Yeah.
We try to be respectful.
no, we're
of that
definitely huge
aspect.
tools.
Yes, but we're not that big of a tool.
No, we definitely are.
But we're not going to do it.
Yeah, but we're not going to do it.
We're
Yeah.
Yeah, we're respectful tools.
Yes.
But other than that, does that cover?
I think
all
that's
grounds?
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Now
So-
let's actually start the podcast.
So now, with that being said, with how far are we? 7 minutes in? That's actually not bad. I thought we were like 15, 20 minutes in at this point. With that being said, everything's out of the way. Important stuff. Tyler Carroll.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Tyler Carell, go ahead and get started at where are we, man?
Today, I guess, tonight, whatever.
This moment.
That in this current moment of my life,
Yes.
we are in Sterling, Illinois. It is very close to where we were in episode 1, which was Oregon. It's maybe 15 minutes away from that spot, but we're in northwestern Illinois. The area here used to have a lot of like Native American lands. I covered that in last episode. Some of the same tribes and all that.
Who'da thunk?
Winnebago mainly. What?
Who'd have thunk? America had a bunch of Native Americans.
Wow. Crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
But they were located up here in this area. There was 14, I think there was like 14 different tribes of the Winnebago that were up here, according to historians. So
Cool.
a lot of Native American activity.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of cover that a little bit before we get into the actual town of Sterling. They had a whole bunch of conflicts up here. One of them was anything from them stealing horses to like threatening to scalp the white man.
Cool.
So, fun little stuff like
Yeah,
that.
fun stuff.
Let's just throw it back real quick. Scalping actually started from the settlers, and then Native Americans ended up taking it up
Yeah.
because that's
The settlers started that?
yeah. They actually used to,
Damn.
from what I believe is they used to sell the scalps of the Native Americans to prove that they were killing Native Americans and
Yeah.
they were getting paid by the government.
Yep, pretty much.
So
then Native Americans started doing the same thing.
yeah, yep. So
'Cause-
Wow.
America had some dark moments in our history, but
Yep.
Okay, you learn something new. every
Yeah.
day. Jesus
So,
Christ.
yeah, just like you said, Native Americans took it on just because, fuck off, they took us on because,
I had something I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I contained
So-
myself.
I'm
So-
actually trying to be respectful in this. It's pretty fucked up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that moment, so go
Yep.
ahead.
So they had a lot of problems after some of the Americans came in and all that. Eventually they fled. one of them was an island near Fulton, which is in the general area. I guess there was a big thing in the area where the Native Americans stole all their horses and all that. Eventually, the settlers got their horses back, and in the book I read, because I can read a book.
Hey,
I read things.
I don't know what
I
that
read
is.
things good.
I can read good. They said they dealt with the thieves and just so they
Dealt with? Was it
dealt
like
with
in
the
Sounds like
quotes?
they whitewashed the
Dwell-
fuck out of that.
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Jesus
You
Christ.
take my horse, I kill you.
They
yeah.
fucked the thieves.
Oh yeah, dealt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other kind of big thing that I wanted to cover with the area in general was the Black Hawk War. It was around 1804. It was between two different tribes. They were trying to reach a deal on land that was in the area. And one of the chiefs, Chief Blackhawk, which also mentioned before in the last podcast, has nice big old statue.
That's a big old statue.
Big old 50-foot tall statue was erected
Must be nice.
in his likeness. So
I want something erected in my likeness, you know?
Already,
you know?
got one.
nope, stop it. Nope.
It's already happening right now, dude.
Moving on.
You beautiful, beautiful man.
Oh, you stop it right now.
So Blackhawk, he refused to recognize this deal that was made, and in 1829, so this was a little while after, apparently, they what did it say?
Words are hard.
Yeah, you know that thing I said about
Yo,
reading?
it's early. This is going to be
can't-
an ongoing thing for our podcast. Is
Yeah.
there's going to be moments where our brains just kind of seize up for a
Yeah.
minute, and
You know,
there's
'cause we're
just,
doing it live.
doing it live,
Stroking
Yeah.
out.
stroking out, doing it live, and then it's also 3 a.m. So
No, I have a thing. I have a paper I'm reading from, and for a part of this, so I get some of this stuff right. And I apparently did not type this right at all because I cannot.
Can you
Nice.
please read it how it sounds for a second?
No, I don't. I'm not doing that. We're not. It doesn't make.
I
any
don't
sense.
irk.
I do the thing and stuff. But the Black Hawk tribe, they eventually got pushed out. They returned a handful of years later. He sought aid from other Native American tribes, and they assured him that he would assist with this war, apparently, I guess, this dispute that these guys were all having. So
over land.
pretty much.
Now was the war itself? Was it between like settlers and Native Americans, or was it between two Native?
It was
American
two Native
groups?
American tribes. It was the Fox and Sac tribes.
Okay.
Is what it said. So it had this one actually had nothing to do with settlers apparently, which is good.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's fine. You know, they're in own territory. Fight, do what you want.
Yeah, whatever. That's
Exactly.
cool.
Do you, boo?
Yeah. So there was another Native American known as White Cloud, which
That's kind of
They-
a badass name, if I'm being honest.
White Cloud?
I would love to be a white. Hey,
That would be
what's up,
you.
White Cloud?
you and your jewel.
Blowing fat white cloud.
Fat white clouds, bro. So he would.
Dank ass white clouds. You know how we do.
Dude, that's you,
Vape-
bro.
vape
Vape for
dish.
life, bro.
Vape Nation, dude.
So
Oh, shit.
he was known as the Prophet, I guess. The Prophet. So White Cloud Prophet. This guy's got two badass names on him.
Yeah, Jesus.
So,
the White Cloud
yeah.
Prophet.
White Cloud Prophet. He had a village that was nearby that later became Prophet's Town, which is another place in the general area.
Ooh,
That's actually kinda
is that
interesting.
how it got the name Prophet's Town?
Yep.
Just because of White
So
Cloud's
they,
badass self?
Yep. So
Hey.
yep, because of his nickname, which in turn, so it was his village was located like in it, like where Prophet's Town is, the city limits or something. They said that it was like near it or like inside of like where the city limits are now.
Yeah.
So that was where Prophet's Town,
I mean, it's a badass name.
So
for
it's his town.
yeah,
pretty much.
for a
Yeah.
town that,
Yep,
that
yep.
struggles with meth, but you know.
Nice.
Is that some inside cop knowledge that we don't?
Nice.
It's all right. Our whole area struggles with
Yeah, all areas.
yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
So there now actually I said before it was between just Native Americans. I guess apparently a general did come into play in this.
Of course.
So yeah, white man's got to have it.
Here comes Whitey.
Here comes Whitey. So General Samuel Whiteside.
Of course.
Whiteside.
There it is.
Here we are.
Whiteside
There
area.
Whiteside.
The Whiteside.
County.
Whiteside County.
Yep.
That's
yep.
where we are.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it's
Oh my
Names come from
God.
things and stuff.
Yeah, I totally forgot we were even talking about a city.
So he had a large group of volunteers that were pretty much sent out to burn down said village. So
And we named a county after him.
and
Solid.
we named this county after it.
Solid.
Solid.
But don't worry, White Cloud's got a town.
He does.
So it's all good.
White
It's
Cloud's
all
Prophet's
good,
Town.
bro.
I prefer it to be White Cloud, like White Cloud Town. That sounds way cool.
That sounds dumb.
You're right.
White Cloud Town.
It sounded a lot better in my brain. So you can fuck off.
He's like,
All right,
welcome to White Cloud Town.
Welcome
White
to
Town Cloud.
White Town Cloud.
So all the Native Americans eventually were pushed out of the area up to Wisconsin. Blackhawk, his son, the prophet, and I might butcher this, Wicshik, were all captured in 1833. They were eventually freed, and then Chief Blackhawk died in 1838. A few years later. Days. Days.
That was quick,
Years.
bro.
Oh.
It was quick.
Yeah.
But can we go over that name real quick? That one you didn't pronounce
Wicshik?
correctly. How to
Wicshik?
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 I have no idea how to pronounce it. It just sounded weird.
Yeah. So there was also a big thing where it was what was it? It was Chief Blackhawk's remains were sent to after he died, they ended up somehow he got his remains back into a museum that was in Iowa. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it actually burned down like
What
I
burned
think
down?
it's the museum
Oh.
burned down and his remains are now gone, unfortunately.
No.
So
Yeah,
But-
don't fuck with people's remains. King Tut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Egypt, Blackhawks remains. Usually shit goes poorly.
Are you telling the fire not to mess with people's shit?
No, I'm
remains?
talking with, who knows? Maybe the fucking remains burnt the place down. Maybe
Okay.
ghosts.
Well, I think there was something, if I remember correctly, when I was reading that like his remains got stolen and then somehow got brought back. I don't remember exactly how they didn't really delve too far into that, but they did say something about him getting stolen
Given-
at some point.
Given what we do on this podcast with the ghost nutting, we advise against messing with remains just in general. Don't mess with remains.
Just don't. That's how you
If
get
it's not
haunted.
your body, don't
Yeah.
touch it.
Yes.
Just leave it alone.
Unless the person, if the remains can give you consent, I mean, go for it. But if
Ghost nutting, dude.
if you're not getting consent from these remains, walk
Touch
away.
me, Ghost Daddy.
Brought to you by Ghost Nutting. This entire podcast, apparently.
Bro, we gotta make like our own brand of milk. It's called Ghost Nutting.
That was real almonds.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
All right.
So-
But we got to do it with almond milk because I'm lactose intolerant, and I want to at least be able to drink my own product. That sounded real weird.
Yeah, I want to.
I want to be able to drink my own product, dude. So, yo, this is the most
This-
immature podcast.
Yeah. Normally, it's not this bad.
No.
It's immature, but it's.
He says normally as we've had one episode.
Yeah, right. Normally, I mean,
Normally, the first
it's a
one's gonna
50-50 chance it's going to be
Yeah.
at this point immature. So,
Right, yeah, exactly. So, but a little bit of history on the area and the heavy Native American presence.
Yeah.
So I want to give the town that we in.
the town we in.
In
Continue.
the town we in. Let's go. So the town we're in is Sterling, obviously.
Yeah.
There was a settler named Hezekiah Brink.
Hezekiah Brink.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dope name too.
I actually mistyped
don't
on this
know about,
paper
like,
and it
Hezekiah
said
Brink.
break.
Break?
It's so on here it says break, but it's Brink. Brink.
Oh, you spelled break?
Brink. Yeah.
Nice.
Spell check will get you every time.
With a
Oh,
keyboard.
by the way, this is the Haunted Podcast.
Don't worry about
that's an
it.
inside
That's
joke
an
that
inside
no
joke
one's
that
gonna
no
get.
one's gonna get,
So
and it's
moving
okay.
on.
But yeah. So he came to the area in 1834. So this actually was a little bit after Black Hawk was captured, and it wasn't originally known as Sterling. By the way, it was the Harrisburg precinct, or Harrisburg Township was originally what it was. So a little bit of tie back into the Native American stuff. They arrived and they begin digging up all the mounds, all the Indian mounds and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So it was W.H. Holbrook. He investigated a lot of the mounds in this area. He was a big guy in digging all these up. There was 22 that were in Sterling alone, like along the river and the south side of the city. So
Jesus, I can imagine there's probably a lot of
Mississippi.
them.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mississippi Park is a mound.
it pretty much is, yeah.
Yeah.
From what I know, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And the river, I could just imagine there's usually a lot by a river, water, wherever
Yeah.
water goes.
Yeah, pretty much. So they called it they called it a sport. And there was so pretty much there was very few of these sites left untouched, all these mounds that were left untouched. And it pretty much turned into like a fun little game.
What, to find them?
Yeah,
or?
to like find and like
Let's-
dig up all these.
Let's treasure hunt for people's remains that are peacefully buried.
Hey, look, I found a femur, Mom.
What the fuck?
Mom, why am I hearing voices in the bathroom? That's because Daddy brought home spirits, so you can thank him.
Right. So yeah. So they dug up all these, and that was back around when it was getting formed. So the present day Sterling was, we're gonna skip that because that's not important. That's,
Okay.
we're just, it was
Fuck you, Sterling.
Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger.
right. Yeah, I know. So, there was a steamer captain, like one of the steamboats, like back in the day, with the big fucking like wheel on the back and all that shit that used to transport goods and stuff.
And all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So he came up the Rock River with certain merchantables, was how it was said. I thought that was a cool word. Never heard that before. So
Merchantables.
merchanables,
Nice.
goods and such. So, he sold his supplies to the settlers, primarily to, what was his name? Hezekiah, right? Yeah,
Hezekiah. Yeah.
Brink.
Sounds right. Brink.
So, and in return, they named the town, because his name was D.S. Harris. Apparently, they named Harris. That was where you got the Harrisburg from, was because he gave him so many of these goods and really helped with the forming
Okay.
of this town, pretty much.
Sterling or Harrisburg?
What is Harrisburg?
That's
So-
what Sterling used to
So
be called. What would you
so
prefer?
Harrisburg is what Sterling used to be called.
I kind of like Harrisburg better than
So,
Sterling.
did you get into how it got the name Sterling?
They never really like said. So there was Harrisburg and it was Chatham. That was the other one. So
Chatham?
Chatham. So it was kind of like how Sterling and
That's
Rock
kinda
Falls
weak.
is in a way, like how they're just like sort of sister cities, I guess. It wasn't like across the river, but in the town of Sterling, it used to be Harrisburg and Chatham, and they.
Pardon me, dude. I think I have corona.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good. Let's just say
Coronavirus.
that. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
So-
Anyway, so
God
it's,
Yeah.
damn. I don't. I hope not. I don't know.
oh, you just did a test right now. Now you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
okay, yeah, good, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, you get those results back right away.
I'm coughing, dude.
We're definitely 6 feet away.
And Tyler's going to leave, so bye.
so
Anyway,
Yeah.
so it was Harrisburg and Chatham, and it was a rivalry between these two communities, and I guess it was settled in 1842.
like a friendly rivalry, or were they like tossing stones?
It didn't say. It just said rivalry. So
Okay.
I'm assuming they were upset about
Each other.
Just wait till you hear this.
Okay,
No.
yeah, I'm
So it was over the location of the county seat. Now I don't know what a county seat is, but that was all it said. Was they were upset over. God
think it's
damn
the
it! Now I got
courthouse.
it.
We all- that corona
that's
made full
quick.
circle.
That's
that made
fucking
full
quick,
circle.
dude.
Wow. I think incubation time is quick.
Right. So it was a rivalry between them two to figure out where their county seat would be.
Okay.
I think
Eventu-
that's courthouse. I think that's where the courthouse would be.
The county seat.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure on that, guys.
I feel like all these back in the day, these stories of these like little towns always quarreling over county seats. It was
Yeah.
always like a big thing.
Pretty much. Yeah. So eventually they settled their differences and they united under the name Sterling. Wow.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, Harrisburg sounds way cooler than.
Harrisburg.
I would also take Chatham.
I don't know. Chatham
Over
sounds
Sterling?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, this is my hometown, so I can talk shit about it. So, but I
Also
love
true.
it. I love it. I live here. I reside here. But
Address is.
dox him. Dox him.
Dox him now, guys.
So they consolidated these two settlements, two towns, two townships, whatever you want to call it, pretty much. They didn't grow very fast up until the railroad came, which that was July of 1855.
1855.
Yep. So officially, it was a little bit after that when they formally, because it was Sterling Township, and when a little bit after the railroads came, it was February 16th of 1857 was officially when it was the city of Sterling instead of township of Sterling. So throughout the years, there's been a handful of stuff that's happened. So in 1850, you had the Sterling Hydraulic Company was formed. August of 1855, they had the I don't remember which it didn't say which one, but they formed a dam. That was when that was completed. The Sterling Bridge Company in 1863 made the first bridge across like the Rock River.
Was it First Avenue or Avenue G? Do you know?
So the first one was First Avenue.
Okay.
So that was like the first one that was actually across the Rock River. At the time, it was $30,000, which translates to the exact amount was $447,000.
I was gonna say 447. Hell yeah,
That's a
dude!
steal.
I'm building
It's
the
a steal,
bridge
bro.
right now, dude.
Yeah. So it cost almost $500,000 to essentially make this bridge, I guess.
I mean, if you think
Probably
about
out
it,
of wood planks too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Right.
sense. Building a bridge now would cost around that, if not more.
And it took a while for them to get this bridge up and running because it wasn't actually open until 78. So it started in 63.
Jesus.
And they didn't
Typical
get up
state
to
worker.
78.
Typical state workers.
I guess.
Oh, let me guess. They started construction on a Friday in the afternoon when people are getting off of work. Jeez,
sounds like a really
workers.
personal thing. That just
Yeah, no, that happened on the way here today. It's Friday in the afternoon. People are getting off work. So, like, what's a good time to tear up the road in the middle of this busy ass intersection? Right now. Let's do it. I sat still for like 15 minutes. I was getting so mad. Anyway, continue. So, where are we?
Yeah. We're in Sterling.
You want to start over again?
Formerly Harrisburg.
Just kidding. Please don't.
So this area used to be a lot of Native American land.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm gonna. All right, bye.
Yeah. Jesus.
The Avenue G Bridge was in 1903, so that was a handful of years later. I guess apparently Sterling wanted Rock Falls, which is our official sister city, to help pay for it, and they refused. So suck it, Rock Falls. You suck.
I mean, I'd
Thanks.
probably do the same thing if I was Rock Falls.
Yeah,
Build your own
want us-
goddamn
you
bridge.
want us to build your bridge? Fuck you, buddy.
You build your own
fuck you.
goddamn bridge.
So, like, aside from that stuff, there hasn't been anything, like, super crazy noteworthy. I mean, you have your general businesses, obviously Sterling Theater being one of them.
Yeah.
You have, the Gazette and all that kind of stuff open up. So,
No longer, right? The Gazette's gone here, isn't it?
there's, like, the Sauk Valley paper. But, yeah, like, the Daily Gazette, I think, is
Yeah, I think it
done.
got conformed into Sauk
It's
Valley,
Sauk Valley.
Media,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yep. So there wasn't a whole bunch of craziness
Yeah.
that happened.
Cool. There's a lot of interesting information. Nice reporting there, sir.
Thanks,
you
buddy.
are a research god.
I will say this. So they also used to have like a bunch of like clubs and stuff in the area, and there is one that I'm really upset that's not a thing anymore. So it was the Sterling, what is it, Euro, the sandwich thing or whatever, the Euros,
like the GYRO.
the GYROs.
The
That's-
Euro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there used to be a club for that, and I'm kind of upset that
A
they don't have
club?
it.
Yeah.
There's Sterling Euro Club.
Hashtag Team Euro.
Yep.
Were they just like dancing and eating euros?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
They,
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm
I
100%
picture like,
in.
like on the dance floor, just
Yeah.
swinging euros around. Just
Double fisting euros, dude. Hell yeah, bro. I don't drink, but I'll eat the fuck out of a euro.
Just make sure you have Tuesdays off because they used to meet on Tuesdays.
Okay.
By the way.
Okay. I don't
so-
have Tuesdays off.
I will.
We,
But there
are-
was-
we have a lot of podcasts left, and I really have to piss, and that's not going to happen. So I'm holding this in. UTI town.
Pants, dude.
It don't even matter.
I'm going to get a bottle while you guys are talking.
They got medicine for that.
But alrighty. So that's the town of Sterling. So now that we know where we are, what are we in? Well,
We're in Sterling.
we are in Sterling.
Wow.
Wow. No, we are in the historical Sterling Theater. Pretty cool building we got here. A lot of history here. It was built in 1924 by Al Weeks
Yes.
and George Greenough. How
I
do
don't know how
you
to
pronounce
pronounce
that
that.
word? It's
I don't know.
Greenough.
Greeno.
Greenough?
Greeno.
Greeno?
I'd say
Greeno?
probably Greeno.
Okay. Well, it was built by those two, Al Weeks and George Greeno. That was back in 1924. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was 100 years ago.
Almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years ago. Like, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're
96,
getting there.
but you know who's counting.
But the original owners, it was owned by Leo J. Wall to begin. He owned it after it was built by Al and George, the dynamic duo. Cool thing about Leo J. Wall, I don't know if you listeners know who Wall Clippers are, but
Never heard of him.
Leo J. Wall is the guy who made Wall Clippers, the hair clippers. He's a Sterling High School graduate.
Is
Pretty
that
cool.
like Walmart?
Yeah, like WAHLMART. Yeah, they sell
I'll just check.
clippers.
That's how you spell that?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I just learned that today. I've been shopping at this weird place, but
I know.
I've been
yeah.
going to WALMART.
That must be the
And I didn't know
off-brand
It's
it
a
was-
store.
knockoff.
That
That's
would
an
explain
off-brand.
why
That's a knockoff one.
the different amounts of people I'm dealing with over there.
that's the off-brand. Yeah. But yeah, so he's the guy that invented the wall clipper, which is kind of funny. So when he was in high school or after he graduated, he dabbled around a lot with like vibrating. That's what it says. You look it up. He dabbled in vibrating mechanics. Like, that's weird.
Vibrating buttholes.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. But what happens in your life that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna study this vibrating shit. These mechanics here, I like this vibrating stuff. So he got into making vibrating muscle massagers. That's what he started with.
Muscle massagers?
Some
Muscle
girl told him he
yeah.
wasn't good enough.
That's what we're calling them now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That sounds way more professional than dildo.
that's what he started with. He started making muscle massagers, selling those, and then eventually it turned into the huge wall clippers that we know today. That is based here in Sterling.
But real talk, Wall Clippers does a really awesome thing for the community of Sterling. We joke about some of the stuff, but they are an amazing business, and I know some of them, and they're a good family. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the Wall Clipper and helping out the Sterling community.
Okay, thank you, Wall. Anyway, moving on. So after he purchased it from Al Weeks, and then he sold it to the Locust Building Company Incorporated. Locust is the main street that runs through Sterling. So he sold it to them, and then it was sold from the Locust Building Company to the owners that we know, Franklin Ford and C.J. Contos.
It's Contos.
Contos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kontos. CJ is what we call him. That's his name. We don't know him because he hasn't been around
We're
for a while.
homies. We're homies.
Yeah,
you know?
we're homies.
We hang out on the
Yeah.
weekends. If I was alive at that time, we would have went to the Sterling Euro Club on Tuesdays.
Yeah, right. I'm sure he would have. He seems like
for
he
sure.
seems like a good old Euro guy. CJ was born in Castries, Providence, in Athens, Greece, on May 1883. Obituary says May 9th, 1876 through April 30th, 1955. So a little weird, but he was born in 83, not 76.
There was for some reason there was a confusion in the actual newspaper. So a lot of these facts that we found on the Sterling Theater were actually old newspaper articles from the Daily Gazette. So
Yeah, what we could find.
what we could find, yeah.
So he traveled from Greece to Chicago when he was 10 to work with his uncle. From there, they owned and operated a fruit and confectionery store. That sounds like one of the coolest jobs to have. You're just selling fruit and
Yeah,
confectioneries.
selling fruit. That's the coolest job you can
fruit.
have.
And confectionery.
Making fruit.
Hell yeah.
That's the pinnacle
whenever,
of your life.
Whenever
When I
I'm
just
hung
put
on
all this
fruit,
material together and the grapes
Man.
just formed, like, fuck yeah, dude. Making fruit.
just smashing materials together. Is this a grape? No, that's an abomination. Here's a grape. So they owned and operated a fruit and confectionery store. 1914 moved to Chicago Heights, where he ran and developed a hotel and theater there. So CJ's always had his hand in theaters. Also built the theater, the Parthenon, and hotel in Hammond, Indiana. The Parthenon. That's such a dope name, Parthenon.
I was gonna say,
You can't do
gonna say
that on a podcast. You can't inhale like you're gonna say something and then just be silent.
I was gonna say something, but it would have been inappropriate.
Okay,
It has
cool.
something to do with Gary, Indiana, which. No, you know what? Fuck, I'll say it. Gary, Indiana is a shithole.
You were holding off saying Gary, Indiana is a shithole,
Wow,
bro.
yeah.
It is.
That was
it.
it?
Is. It definitely
was what
is.
you're like,
I was
oh,
like,
man.
yeah, should I say this? And, you know,
Yep.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Here's the
All right.
line. Don't talk shit about Gary, Indiana. I can't say that, guys. I can't say it.
Gary, Indiana, but they are a shithole. And they know it.
They embraced
That's why
the
their name is
shithole.
fucking Gary.
Oh my god. So
It was great in the Music Man or whatever it was called, right? Gary, Indiana. They have a song about it.
I have no idea.
All right, never mind. Well,
Probably not, since
I-
no one remembers it except for
what?
you.
Don't make me research this shit.
Yeah, right now. Pull out your phone.
I will.
No,
dude.
don't. Please don't. So anyway, after he built the Parthenon, Gary Hammond he bought the Sterling Theater from the Locust Building Company Incorporated, and that was in 1930, September 1930, and moved to Sterling's beautiful house on the corner of Avenue F and West 14th Street, which is actually close to
Don't dox me.
some.
Don't you fucking
I
dox
went, you doxed yourself
Actually,
right there.
it's not that close.
No,
really
it's
not
really
that
far
close.
away. His wife
Close
was
to a park.
his wife.
Somewhere.
It is a beautiful house, though.
It is actually a really cool standout house. It's sticks out like a sore thumb because it's very architecturally different than any house around it.
It's very circular. It's very
Is
pillar.
Is that the
Yeah.
the,
It focuses-
the brick one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
The
all
brick
made of
one with,
and
like,
all
the
that stuff?
peak on it, yeah.
Yeah. Looks
That's
kind of like
pretty
a
cool.
castle.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
like
awesome
something an
house.
architect would make. So,
Yep.
wife was Elizabeth Fleabich.
I think Fleabag.
Fleabich.
Jay still said it.
F-L-E-B-I-C-H.
He still said it.
Yeah, of course I did.
Jay, don't say it like this. Lee bitch?
Fleabich. All right, so yeah, that's a cool little background on CJ there. But so yeah, the theater was bought in 1930, and around 1943, after he poured his blood, sweat, and tears, as the intro alluded to, into the building, which inevitably burned down July 9th, 1943. Nobody's really sure how it burned down, but it was believed to be started due to ventilation issues over the auditorium stage, which was an open stage because this building was originally for vaudeville acts, live plays. It wasn't a movie theater. But Back then, they lost about $90,000. Inflation calculation about 1.3 million.
Yep.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You're burning. You're setting $1.3 million on fire.
And I forgot because this is all from a newspaper article. I think he was only like insured like 60% of it too.
At least it's 60% though.
I mean, still.
Yeah.
60% of $1,368,000.
That's like $700,000,
Yeah.
$800,000.
Jesus.
Well, no, thank you. But anyway, during the fire, there was just mostly women and children in the building.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, no big deal. Nothing important. No,
Damn.
We're kidding. We're kidding. The world would be nothing without women and children.
Yeah, you're spot on, dude. Good.
Cool.
Wow, good anatomy
assumption.
lesson. Thanks.
But this was due to it being during World War II. So most of the guys were out shooting guns and
Fighting the good fight.
fighting the good fight. But no deaths in the fire. 13 firemen were injured during the fire, though 4 hospitalized. On the roof, Little and William Luce. That's his name, Little Luce and William Luce. Were on the
I'm
roof
a little
spraying.
loose too.
You might want to get that checked out, bro.
It's just a little loose.
It's not really
Little
loose.
prolapse, it's no big deal.
It's fine. It doesn't whistle
I don't
that
think
loud.
prolapse means loose. Dude. That just means. Anyway, if you watch that video, just like that means the butthole's like this. It goes like this.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
People that don't know
That
what
looked like karate chopping motion that you did. Hiya!
normal. Hiya!
Sorry about the peak. These guys still don't know how to back away from the mic when they get loud. Yeah, they're learning. So this is a really loud peaks in your. Please don't. God damn it, please don't. Anyway, so yeah, Little Loose and William Loose. Well, come on, parents. You know what you're doing.
Try harder.
Come on.
Try harder.
It's not like little and the word little and the word loose meant something different in 1940. So when they named him, come on, Little Loose.
Please just move on. We're not gonna get through it if you don't just keep
right.
talking.
All right,
We have 4
William.
podcasts.
William and his other brother Luce on the roofs.
Spraying water into the fire.
Okay. All right, so they're on the roof. They're spraying water, and they fell through a hole in the roof. While they're spraying the water, fire damage. They fell through. Walls started to crack. They fall down. They jump off the roof, suffer minor injuries. Pretty badass.
So
Yeah.
they fell through the roof and then they jumped off the roof.
Yeah.
No,
You
that doesn't make sense.
typed it.
Weird. That's weird because that's what you typed there for me, buddy boy.
Actually, they were firing water into the fire through a hole in the roof, and then the wall starts to crack, and then they jump down.
Anyway, so they suffer minor injuries. So Little suffered little injuries. Loose suffered little injuries.
Sprained ankle. That's
Sprained
what
ankle.
It said in the newspaper article.
Cool.
Honestly, that's really good that there was, like, you had very few injuries in, like, a building burning down with people inside,
People
right?
on the roof of it.
Yeah.
There
like,
were embers coming off it too that were about to start other buildings on fire.
Yeah.
I think D&E actually almost went up. They had like
D&E is a furniture building right next door.
Yeah, right next door. Thank you. And they had multiple fire department agencies all trying to make sure Sterling didn't go up in flames, kind of like the
Where they just had
Chicago
like
fire.
baseball bats like hitting embers out of the out of the air as they're coming close
They
to the
probably
building.
just when does this? I was gonna say buckets. Just no.
What'd you say? What year was this?
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, they only had buckets in 1940, right? They didn't have hoses.
Yeah,
That
dude.
wasn't invented until like early 2000, right?
Yeah, dude.
But that's
But anyway.
honestly good. Good that no one was.
Yeah, it was good
hurt
that no
or
one was hurt.
killed or
Minor
anything, but yeah.
injuries. I mean, obviously people were hurt, but
Well,
minor
yeah.
injuries.
Nothing crazy.
But after that, the theater was rebuilt by John R. McClane.
What a stud.
Fucking Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Die Hard was over here rebuilding theaters, man.
That's my man, dude.
John
He saved
McClane.
Nakatomi and rebuilt the Sterling Theater. Who can say that? No one.
No one. John McClane can. But anyway, roof is now fireproof, so that's good.
Smart.
I'm a fire alarm inspector as my actual job, and this place caught fire. And after walking through here, there is no fire detection system in this building. But the roof's fireproof, I guess. So if the walls
Maybe
catch on
there's-
fire, the roof will just
It'll fall on there and just put it all out. It's fine.
yeah, right. Just fires out. Good. All right, cool. Thanks,
Put a
thanks,
blanket over it.
fireproof roof. But yeah, so after it was rebuilt by John McClane's badass self, it was described as the most modern theater in Northern Illinois. Quoted, the theater was quoted as the magnificent tower of opaque glass because it stood 40 feet high, 36 feet in length, 20 feet wide. So it's actually pretty cool. They used to have scaffolding up in the tower, where if you look at the picture we'll be posting on our social, you can see the glass tower there. They have scaffolding that they would climb up, and they would manually replace all the lights in there, or change them out for different colors and stuff. But now they have it all automated on cell phones, and welcome to the future.
How do you get to our social?
Yeah, say the
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I
sorry.
mean, we can plug it now, and I was gonna plug
yeah,
it
keep-
later.
Plug it now, dude.
just
You
plug
brought
it now.
up.
Hunting_table. That is for Twitter and Instagram. Anyway,
right. I think
this is the most derailed.
Podcast ever.
this
Yeah.
is going great. Who was it? Lori? Is
Yes.
that who was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori. Okay.
Magnificent lady, by the way.
Oh yeah, great lady.
Super sweet.
Yep. She said she can control it all from her phone,
Yeah.
right? When she was giving us a
Yep.
walkthrough earlier, which is it's a good step up from let me just replace all these lights and then
Yeah, but like something cool about having to climb some scaffolding to
Until
change
you
some light
fall.
bulbs until you
Until
fall.
you fall.
Until you fall and die.
you fall
It's
through
wooden
But then
scaffolding. It's wooden.
it's a pretty dope story to tell on the haunting
Or
table
you
on the
can
haunted
haunt the
podcast.
building. Boom. More ghosts.
Boom, more ghostesses. All right. So can I
Ghost
move on
nutting.
from this?
more ghost nutting.
More ghost nutting. But anyway, so the building sits with a capacity of 1,020 seats. So that's maybe not a capacity of people, but that's how many seats are in here. Theater opens back up September 28, 1944. The ticket price back then, 50 cents.
That is equal to $7.45, by the way,
Really?
for inflation.
Well,
Yep.
Pretty
So-
fair
so
price.
they-
we're
had-
definitely paying way more than $7.45.
they
So
had
$8
actually, we're not paying
$8
anything
tickets.
anymore because theaters don't exist anymore, except for the
this
one
one.
we're in,
This-
which
this
is pretty
beautiful
cool.
place.
And
Yes.
just so everybody knows, they do social distance and they wear masks and everything in here. They have to wear masks. So
Yep.
they're only open because they're taking these precautions.
And
course,
we don't
beforehand.
actually have coronavirus. I know we joked about it, but we we don't have coronavirus. So this
Yeah.
place is good. Please come here, and that's enough
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that plug for right now.
Support local businesses.
yeah.
But anyway, so when it was rebuilt, it was actually a really big deal. Big film executives in the film industry come from Chicago down here to Sterling to see the opening, which is pretty cool. The theater did its part in World War II war efforts. The price of admission would sometimes be one old rubber tire. The tire would then be donated to the U.S. government war scrap collections. So rubber went towards troops on the front lines back then, just like a lot of things. Rubber,
Yeah.
meats.
Yeah,
I mean, World War I, World War II took everything out
yeah.
of us.
Everyone in the country really united and
That's honestly
fought
one of the
together.
that's honestly one of the cooler things that I remember reading about the theater was that they like, here, give me this tire and you go and see a movie. Sure.
Yeah,
like
some
that's
of-
awesome.
Some of the old flyers that they had too were super cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did a lot of micro film research. Jay did a lot of research, and then we kind of compared notes on some of the dates. That's why some of the dates were a little off on the birth of CJ. But
Yeah.
it was really cool. Sterling Public Library, shout out to them. They have all of the old newspapers on this microfilm or kind of like projector. You run it through a machine and it pulls it up on the screen. You guys probably see it in like popular movies where they're trying to research, old murders and stuff like in horror movies, and they're just kind of like filtering through. I found some very interesting dates and some things that were going on in the area that might play into why this part of the town is so haunted. So some of these are going to be cool. Some of these are going to be just interesting facts. But this area, along with Oregon, was very high in prohibition gangster mobsters. Al Capone was known to frequent the area. There was a old hotel that was where the Blockbuster was, right about kitty corner from this.
What's a blockbuster?
Yeah. What is this?
I'm
crap?
dating myself.
Real bad.
So it's where like the CGH optometrist office is, if anyone knows where that is at this point in time. But yeah, there used to be a gigantic hotel called the Miami Hotel that was pretty big for a lot of popular people. They would come down. Sterling used to be kind of like Oregon, a ritzy little town to where people would come and vacation here. With the steel mills and stuff like that, we had quite a few bigwigs, I would say, and then bigwigs sometimes like to mingle together and kind of made a name for Sterling. I think
And
that's
buy
why-
illegal alcohol.
Yeah, and when there's bigwigs and prohibition, there's illegal alcohol.
Oh yeah.
So supply and demand, economics,
Economics.
Reaganomics.
Reaganomics.
So January 28th, 1926, in Whiteside County, 44 men were sworn in as bank guards to fight off quote-unquote bandits, or AKA mobsters. They were robbing banks in the Whiteside County, so they just took 44 people off the street, gave them sawed-off shotguns, and authorized them to kill.
Okay.
Because banks were getting hit so hard by mobsters in our area. So
Damn.
that just kind of shows you kind of like
That's pretty rough.
yeah, how rough our area was.
You
right,
just be like
in the
walking,
20s.
just coming back and eating some pizza.
Take this.
Here's a shotgun, dude. Shoot these guys.
September 22nd, 1927. But shooting people. I'm trying. Shooting people, yeah. September 22nd, 1927. Kane Elmer, a stunt plane flyer at Whiteside County Fair, found guilty of conspiring with gangsters, quote unquote, in the newspaper, was caught moving a stolen vehicle for the mob. So we got more ties of big mobster activity in the area. Anything witty to say about that?
No.
No.
Bueller? All right.
No,
going.
nothing.
September 27th.
I mean, no.
September 27th, 1927. Super random, but there was a vote to merge Sterling and Rock Falls.
Oh, thank God that
That's
didn't
because our
happen.
football team sucked and ours was great.
Their baseball team's better.
That's true.
Was.
But it's just super weird that our towns almost became one.
Aw.
Aw. Also from the September 27th.
Anyway.
Jay just gave both of us a super stupid look like, shut up, guys.
Also same newspaper, September 27th, 1927. Oregon man Roy McCartney, who was due in court for prohibition violation, was beaten by two of Al Capone's henchmen. This is what it said in the newspaper. Roy suffered fractured jaw and broken ribs. So I'm guessing he had ties with Al Capone. He got busted. They were maybe worried he was going to rat him out. He sent two henchmen up there, and they beat the shit out of him.
Nice.
So, yes.
Cool, bro.
Violence. Violence. Yes. If the rest of these aren't violence, I don't want to hear it. Violence?
This is super.
Okay,
this
cool,
is
cool,
super
cool.
So July 16th, 1930. This is on the front page. John E. In parentheses, Jack Speroni of Rock Falls was arrested by U.S. federal agents for manufacturing and distributing alcohol over a large area. John was known as the king of bootleggers and Jack the Immune because they couldn't catch him. Personal belongings and clothing were found at 1606 Locust Street in Sterling. There's a really nice house there that they believe he owned that residence. He also owned
Owned that residence?
owned it. The Miami Hotel. So he eventually bought the Miami Hotel and then had illegal gambling and prohibition stuff in that hotel. The reason why I bring that up is there are allegedly tunnels that run underground from the Sterling Theater to the Miami Hotel.
Yeah.
And
we saw it.
We saw it. So I think that there rumors are that the Miami Hotel would get raided, and then they would use the tunnels to get out of the Miami Hotel and escape out of law enforcement.
And then come see a movie.
Yep, and then come see a movie. Chill out.
Yeah. At the theater. Yep.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you gotta crack.
You gotta unwind.
Crack a cold one and watch a movie. Which actually, this theater has alcohol, so
Yeah.
you can actually crack a cold one and watch a movie. Wow, full circle, guys.
Yeah, but it's legal now, so.
Yeah. So another interesting story of this.
Hey, while you're telling these stories, it's live. I don't care, but I gotta pee. Continue
Okay,
going.
that's
I'm
fine.
gonna walk away.
All right, bye. I'm gonna make sure I peek really hard. Just
Please-
start yelling
Just
into
go
the
for
mic.
it. Go for it. Full send.
Oh yeah.
You gotta do the mic check, bro.
All right, so August 12th, 1930. This is where it's going to get a little somber. Robert Card, the only Sterling police officer to ever be killed on duty. The story behind this was he was on a motorcycle chasing a car of bandits or mobsters. What these mobsters did was there was a truck driver from Clinton, Iowa, stopping 6 miles outside of the Sterling to help two men who needed a tire iron to help fix their car. They end up knocking him out and then stealing all of his money. So they robbed him. He finds out their identity. He chases after him on the motorcycle. He grabs, from what I've spoke to people, he grabs their mask off, is able to identify him, and they shoot him, and he dies. So he is the only person to be killed in active duty in Sterling. He was a police officer here for, it looks like, less than a month. So he was less than a month on the job before he sadly passes, and he was a state police for 6.5 years. So that just shows the mob gangster influence in our area.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that this Sterling Theater was definitely tied to it, but it looks like it probably was tied to some illegal activity. So
I mean, I'm back, by the way.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
good. I'm
welcome
feeling
back.
better.
Who is this?
It's your boy,
yeah,
your
which would make
boys.
sense.
Ghost Boys.
Which would make sense though, because CJ was from Chicago, so we'd have Chicago ties.
Okay,
His wife was from Chicago, also Chicago ties. Mobsters, come watch movies down here, which was reported that they did that. So interesting stuff that I found in the newspaper. So
Yeah. Well, awesome. Now, before we move on to, so with this, like I said in the beginning, the structure here is going to be a little bit different. We don't have so this building isn't tied to any specific traumatic event other than, the fire, but nobody was hurt or anything. So any sort of haunting here is, there's not really a main story that brings the haunting to it. It's just, there's weird things that have happened here that people have reported. Not sure as to what it is, so we did our investigation to see what we could find. And so instead of talking about a story about what happened here, we're just going to go straight into our investigation, what we found and what other people have reported to have seen. Before we do that, though, we did have some feedback for episode 1 from a viewer, and he said, this is for Alan. He said that we need to have a break in the podcast because it was too long, so we need to have a break.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think he knows how pause buttons work in podcast. So he said it was a little long. So if you guys wouldn't mind, for Alan, take a quick break with us. We're just gonna sit here for 5 seconds. Alan, you can go ahead and you can go pee now too. All right, back to it. So,
right.
Continue, Anthony.
I didn't get a chance to go to the bathroom.
Well, I sure hope you did, Alan. That was for you. Thank you for that feedback, and hopefully that's what you were looking for.
I love you, Al, but that's such a trash idea, bro. Just pause the fucking podcast. God damn it. Like, I fucking love you, you little hobbit.
ginger bitch.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
So I obviously interviewed quite a few people. If you haven't listened to the first podcast, it's kind of one of my main roles here.
Yep.
I use my interviewing skills. I try to get people's stories and collections and maybe see why or what's going on in this building.
Correct.
Correct.
What kind of cue were you waiting for?
I need the thing to plug into my
Oh, well then
Cue.
you can ask, my friend.
ask and you shall receive. So
You were just gonna look at me until I knew what you wanted.
Jade, you know what I want?
Jay,
Look into my eyes.
You should be
At
able
least
to
at
read
that
my mind.
at least at that point, I know you'd want something. He just stopped and looked at me.
He's Yeah, we should be on the same wavelength at this point in time, and obviously we're not. So I think we need to go to couple counseling because I'm very disappointed in you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why I'm single, everybody. I am single.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy, Ghost Boy. Ghost Boy 69.
All right.
So jumping into the interviews here, since we like to do this live, we have a little recorder that we record most of our things on. We timestamp it and we jump through. So you'll hear us shuffling through here and there, finding our little sound bites.
Yes.
And right now, so set up this one you're looking at.
Yep. So I spoke with Mackenzie Schuler. She worked here for about 2 years. She kind of did everything: concessions, tickets, cleanup. I asked her, what were some of the strange things that happened around here that maybe were unexplained, that she, just kind of are off, and this is what she had to say.
Sometimes the lights would just randomly turn off. Some people would definitely try and say, oh, it's just an old building. But it's definitely, if you're ever in the building, the energy is just different. It's especially at night, especially when you're closing, it's just 100% like, it feels like a different place than it does during the day.
So, obviously, we got lights turning on and off, which could just be the building. We're not here to, I guess, be like, oh, this place is totally 100% haunted. We don't know. You know what I mean? Just like it's an investigation for a reason.
Yeah.
And we try to debunk things whenever we can. Like we debunked the footsteps in the roadhouse, right?
Right.
It was the ductwork just popping. So I don't know if that's just if it's CJ turning the lights on and off, or if it is just faulty wiring. In the
Well,
building.
yeah, when we were walking through the main area, the concessions area, we have an EMF detector that was freaking out with the ceiling. So it could just be a lot of electric magnetic fields in the area there that scientifically show that if you're exposed to that for a long time, a lot of EMF exposure, it can mess with you. It can make you think you're hearing or seeing things. So that could be it. That can give you the feeling of eeriness or someone watching you.
Kind of those heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
Give it them heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she had a few more things.
There's a refrigerator that blocks off like an entryway to like behind the seating area. It's hard to explain, but there's a refrigerator, and the door would just randomly like come open at times, despite like you really have to slam it shut. It's like hard, like not hard closing, but it definitely is always sealed. And so it would just like pop open, and it would just be like, oh, that's CJ, that's the old owner that basically definitely haunts this place.
So she believes it's CJ. We'll get into that a little bit later as the interviews kind of unfold. I try to set up these interviews to kind of tell a story. That way, like last time, we kind of had a little bit of overlap with the interviews, which I will apologize at that point in time. But, so I keep asking...
Wait, what overlaps?
The interviews that I had last...
Oh, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there was a
Who
little bit of
cares?
overlap and a little bit, I mean, so
Yeah,
I tried to do a little bit better.
Everything we do is live.
Yes, so
There's
we
no
learn.
Post-editing.
This is what we do in our podcast: is we evolve and we learn, right? So
Correct.
I keep asking her questions. I keep kind of like digging deeper into what she's experiencing and stuff like that. And she ends up talking about this very interesting story.
I hated taking out the trash, especially at night. And there's like a bunch of boxes that they kept behind the screens. They were just completely empty. I'm not sure exactly what the function of that was. But one day I came back out, and like the boxes had been like, all right, I came back from putting the trash and taking the trash out. And I came back through those same doors to come back up. And like the boxes behind that were behind the screen, like were all shoved and like completely discombobulated after I came back. And I don't know, that freaked me out because one, it's like, okay, did someone get in here, or is CJ here, or...
So I asked her what discombobulated was, because it's like, what the hell does that mean? That's too big of a word for me. And she said, and better explained to it, that so we're having some technical difficulties with Tyler's not hearing any audio, and then he just pulls up. He pulls a wire up, and his I can't hear anything. Probably because your headset's not plugged in, genius.
Jesus Christ.
I was
Back-
like, wow, that just like died halfway through that, so I can't hear any of this stuff. Weird.
You good now?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh
my
my
guy.
God.
How does plugging a headset make the volume show up?
So,
Anyway.
Dude, it was Ghost. Okay, come
dis-
on.
Yeah, come on, Ghost. God, just give us a break.
Yeah,
Can you
let
stop
us do this.
Stop unplugging my headset.
Yeah.
Discombobulated.
Yeah, back to discombobulated.
She met all of the cardboard boxes that were sitting next to the door were pushed down and into the way around the door, so she couldn't get in.
Okay.
So she believed that the wife also haunted the back of the theater. We kind of talked a little bit. She just
The back of the theater?
yes, the
There's
back
like
of the theater,
nothing back
behind
there.
the screen. So to get out into the garbage, you have to go through the exit towards the back of the screen.
You to get out to the back alley, not like you just go into the garbage. You just walk out the back door and you're in the
It's just
garbage.
a garbage dump. It's
Just walk out the door, just garbage.
garbage everywhere. That's
Sterling's very convenient.
You just toss your trash bag out the door.
throw it wherever.
yeah, dude. Screw the environment.
So to get out into the garbage,
But
the
back
back
alley
alley.
where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
But don't
stuff.
screw the environment. Stop
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
don't.
Throw your
We
stuff
love
away.
we love the earth.
Do not litter, you scumbags.
The earth.
Recycle and wash your goddamn hands.
Yes.
We are the people. Continue.
Your beautiful voice, man.
Can you continue?
Yes.
Yeah, would you mind continuing?
Yeah.
Okay, should I
Q, Q,
continue?
Q, Q, Q.
Q, Q.
Okay.
What are we queuing?
So we're actually queuing to the next track. You fucks.
That's me.
Oh, actually, sorry. We're gonna go back a little bit. Backtrack. I asked her why she believed CJ haunted the theater. QQQ.
So my two coworkers, they were waiting for a theater to clean out and kind of telling guests goodbye before they left and just kind of waiting for the ending credits and everyone to leave. And while they were waiting, they noted that a man who was wearing a hat and kind of like a nice like casual suit walked out and like kind of like tipped his hat and said goodnight. And they don't remember anyone coming in like that. And then they went out to like go check and see who it was basically, and just to get a second look to see like, hey, did I actually let you in? They didn't see anything.
So an old gentleman wearing an old suit and hat, which I mean, let's be honest, people don't normally wear full suits out anymore because
I'm a lady.
because you know our culture is classless now.
There's no class.
None.
There was this dude walking around Walmart with like a full like Dumb and Dumber like light blue like pinstripe shirt and like matching hat the other day.
Recently?
Yeah,
The other day.
it was great. A week and a half ago.
Classy.
Awesome.
See,
Awesome.
bringing back the class.
Exactly.
But so it's weird. He tips his cap. They don't recognize him because I would recognize somebody wearing a full suit coming into the
Right.
theater. And then he walks out the door and just disappears. So
Like out to outside?
yeah, like they follow him outside and they don't know where they look for him and they can't find him. So I don't know. Maybe he hits one of those underground tunnels. Maybe he gets beamed up by aliens. Who knows?
He walks out the door, turns the corner, just all casual, and then as he takes off down the sidewalk, he's just sprinting.
His hand, like he's leaning back, running so fast.
What was
Like the
that
Monopoly
movie,
guy.
Where the dude is sprinting. It's like that Mind Control movie. Key and Peele, the dude directed it or whatever. Like one. Of
Get Out?
Get Out. Yeah, where the dude's just like sprinting
Oh,
right
yeah.
at him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just hauls ass across the yard.
That
was
was this
this guy.
dude in
It
full
was him.
suit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, thank you for getting that because I
full
was
suit.
like sinking. I was like drowning.
Get me
in my
out of
own
this, get me out of
story.
this.
Get me on the lifeboat.
Somebody help, somebody help.
Somebody help me. So I actually spoke to another person, Devontae Ewell, and he worked here for 3 years, was the assistant manager, and then eventually became the general manager here. So he had a lot of time alone working up in the office, which kind of was something that came up quite a bit here in the theater as it being haunted or kind of unexplained things. So I asked him what he was experiencing, and this is what he had to say.
It's crazy. Like, so being the general manager, obviously, and on a theater that's only open during the weekend, I spent a lot of time up in the office by myself, just getting things ready for the week. And I mean, it's an old building, so you expect things to creak and to kind of moan a little bit just as the settling or the wind or whatever it was. But it just always kind of took it a step further. Like upstairs in the main office, there's a little hallway that goes back to the main projector room. And you would always hear footsteps from the front of the office through that hallway back to the projector room, and there would be nobody there. And I knew there was nobody there but me. Like the stairs are super loud, so if anybody was going to come upstairs, there was no sneaking up behind me or anything like that. You can hear as soon as somebody hits the bottom step, you can hear it. But you would always hear people walking back and forth from the projector room like they were going to check on something when there was nothing to go check on.
I did my solo investigation upstairs, and those stairs are loud.
Yeah.
Like,
They
they
are.
are
Yeah, they are.
so loud. So he's hearing footsteps upstairs after being the only one in the building. It's just kind of weird, spooky
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Personal preference when it comes to like paranormal investigations. I'm really against the idea of footsteps. Just a personal thing. It's just there's so many noises that a house or a building can make that sound like footsteps. So
I agree, and like I said, we're not here to say it is haunted
Yeah.
or it isn't haunted. We lay all the facts out for you guys, and then let you guys decide, really what you want to believe.
except the whole point of the investigation is to see if it's haunted.
We'll
or
have
not.
our we'll have our opinions, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean, we're just a bunch of fucking morons. So like, you can only trust us for so.
But in my experience, footsteps is the most unreliable of the
Yeah.
paranormal type happenings.
Which I can agree with. It's just creaks and noises. I'm more of an EVP guy, if you want
Yeah.
my honest opinion. But all right, so he kind of continues to go on, same bumps and groans within the building itself, and then he hits this story, which is super interesting.
And then, God, there's so many different things. We had a weird instance too, where there was a picture of one of the original owners, CJ Cantos, in the office. I mean, it was a super old, kind of creepy picture that it was just on the floor. It was on the wall at one point, but when they did a remodel, it never got hung back up. And it would just kind of like watch you. So me spending all the time up there that I flipped it around, and just that it wasn't watching me because it always freaked me out. And then like everything got worse. Like you would hear things up towards the tower where the tall lights are. It almost sounded like somebody was rifling through the storage that we had up there, even though there was nothing. Like I said, no way that anybody could get up there without me knowing while I was there. The projectors would just randomly cut off for no reason during the shows, and we had a tech support company that they still do, that monitors everything that goes on with those projectors. So while they're on, while they're off, on standby, anything like that, they can continuously see what's going on with those projectors. And they would just cut off and nobody would know why. I would call them. I spent hours and hours and hours with them, and they could tell me no reason as to why the things were happening that was happening.
Wow.
So eventually we just decided that we were going to take him downstairs, CJ, the picture of CJ, downstairs, and we were going to put it by the door so you could see everybody that came and went through the front door. Almost everything stopped.
Wow.
Wow.
I
You
said that a
sounded
lot.
so
Wow.
interested, dude.
I'm so in depth in this
Wow.
guy's story, and you'll notice in my interviews is they'll stop and look for affirmation that I'm still listening.
right.
So I'll give them like, oh, okay, or yeah, or wow. Like,
Yeah, like when you're talking to your mom and you're not listening to anything she says, but you gotta wait and go every once in a while. So
Yeah, except I actually like their stories.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I do.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
I fucking hate all of you. So
Good.
those projectors are super high tech. They showed us earlier. What'd she say? Had
She
to
said one of the parts, just there was a little part in the inside that needed to get replaced, and that one little part cost $8,000.
and they have a tech support company that monitors these things 24/7. Like if there's an error on it, they can they know exactly what's wrong with it and they fix it, and they can't tell what's going on with these, and they'll just turn off and fuck up
Yeah.
just randomly. This is why they believe that it's CJ, because he has a picture. It's remodeled again, so not the original remodel, but it's the Sterling buys the theater and then tries to open it back up because it was closed for a while, and
The Sterling, the town.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sterling to town, thank you. So they put the picture in the office, and Devontae gets creeped out because it's kind of a creepy picture. It's the one that's hanging by the door right now, actually. And he's kind of creeped out. He doesn't like how it's looking at him, so he flips it over. And as soon as he flips it over to where the face is facing the wall, all this shit starts happening. Like the activity of the bumps and the groans are more consistent. He's hearing things. The projectors are going all screwy, and he can't explain it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a lot of what this haunting is a lot of weird stuff. It doesn't mean that it's haunted. It could just be a lot of just
Coincidental
coincidental
happenstances.
stuff. Yeah, and it's an old building, but
Yeah, I noticed a lot of creaking and stuff
Yeah.
as I was walking through doing our thing.
I ended up. I asked him why it was possibly haunted, and this is what he gave me. He kind of gave me a little bit of he dropped a little bit of hot knowledge on some history of the
Hot
building.
knowledge.
Was part of like a bootleg ring way back in the day, that there was tunnels that went from underneath the theater to where Taco Bell's at now. I guess used to be this big giant building, almost like a hotel or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that. What it was, but they said that I can't think of the mobster right now. One of the prominent mobsters out of Chicago used to come down and they would run things back and forth from underneath the theater to that hotel, and that was one of their escape routes. If the hotel was going to get raided, they would use that as an escape route to get to the theater and then take off.
Okay, and was it Al Capone?
Yeah, yes.
That's who.
He had forgotten Al Capone.
How do you forget Al Capone?
It's all okay. It's all good, man. Devontae is actually a good friend. He's a good
Yeah,
dude.
good guy.
Thank you for the interview. So there's maybe one more QQQQ for this guy.
Yeah,
But I'm
QQ.
going to talk a little bit about that one for a second.
Oh, so
before
no Q.
No, so
It was a false Q?
Yeah,
Oh,
false Q.
yeah, okay,
False
good. Wow.
QQQQ.
False Q.
Wow. Now
sorry.
I never know when his
I'm
Q's are
such a
Q's.
tease. I'm such a Q
He
tease.
says QQQ. Jay's all ready to go.
Yeah,
and you
I'm-
just nope.
Fingers in the sliders, dude.
So he talks about the gangsters using the tunnels or whatnot, escaping from it was the Miami hotel is what he was referencing, and something I also learned from the historical society. I called the Sterling Rock Falls Historical Society, and they really gave me some good information. I believe the parking lot by SBM used to be like a
What's
parking
SBM?
garage.
Sterling-
So it's
Sterling
kitty
Business.
corner. So it'd be Fifth Street and Locust. It's like a office supply kind of company.
How far away from here?
Sterling?
that
Sterling.
be?
Sterling.
I was like a
Business
block. I would say it's only a block away.
Machine. Oh,
Okay.
where it's at?
Yeah.
So so literally out the front door of Taco Bell, there's the gas station we stopped at directly across the street.
Yeah, no, I know where it is. I'm saying for the listeners to get kind of an idea.
There's
of
a
where
gas station a block away. It's directly across the street.
It's a block north of us on the left. On the.
We spent a lot of time on this part. Let's move on. Now
Okay.
we know where it is.
If you're
So you guys
looking
know where
at-
it is. Anyways, you guys got me all flustered now.
QQQ.
No, it used to be a parking garage, and that parking garage was used by mobsters that would hide stolen vehicles there. So
I'm honestly
Gotcha.
proud that Sterling had a parking garage at one point.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
actually
how the
cool.
mighty has fallen.
Jeez.
QQQ.
Is this a real Q?
This is
I
Is
don't
this
know
a
anymore.
false Q? Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
One of them really
Okay.
got me because she was never really fed into everything and about it being haunted. She didn't care. She would always close and be the last one out of the building and never had any issues with anything. And then one day, she went to go check the theaters like we always do. She checked Theater 2, which is the one right across from the concession stand. Made sure there was nobody in there. It was all good. And mind you, all the doors were locked at this point, and at the time her fiance was waiting outside on the bench outside the theater. But she went through the theaters, checked the theaters, and as she was coming out of screen 1, she walked through the back of the opening of the concession stand, flipped the lights by the popcorn machine like that, and then as she was looking down at the time at her phone, and as she went to go flip the final set of lights, which would be over by where the pops kept, by the register, she looked up as she flipped the lights, and she said before she could even hit the switch, there was somebody standing in the corner by the girls' bathroom just staring at her. Wasn't like, she never really said if it was malicious or not. She said it just scared the crap out of her. And she knew that there was nobody in there, so she just flipped the switches and then ran.
I would shit.
Yeah.
That would legit be the last time I ever enter a building ever.
Yeah. I would poop my pants.
If I just look up and some brony was just straight eyeballing me, that just ghost boy, I'd
What's
shit.
a brony?
I don't know. It's a bro.
I thought that's like the My Little Pony dude.
Yeah. That's even worse. If I look up and there's a brony just
brony up there, I am gone.
if there's a brony, a ghost.
He's pretending like he doesn't know what a brony is. He's secretly a fucking
Oh, I'm
brony.
a fucking dude.
And he sees that dude in the corner. It's a brony. He gives him that head nod, like, "What's up, bro?"
Upstairs?
I wouldn't project your room.
Consent.
Maybe upstairs.
I wouldn't judge you even if you were.
Wear the hooves, please. Wear the hooves.
But yeah, just hearing things is one thing. Seeing things takes it up a whole
Yeah.
new.
Oh my god. That just like even the thought of that just puts chills on my spine. It's just looking up and seeing a dude just there, just like peering at you.
Just getting eye fucked by ghosts in general just make me feel.
That might be nice. It's been a minute, so but.
I'm single.
Oh yeah. All right. Moving on.
All right. So the next interview was Ann Ziegler. She worked here for 4 years, bartender, concessions, and
What does she do now?
she is a bartender. out in
Yeah.
Arizona. So
Q.
cue.
Cue.
We're gonna cue that real quick. Hold on. So, all right.
Sorry, guys. There's a lot of inside jokes going on
It kind
tonight.
of started right away, I would guess. There were times that the original manager, I can't remember his name, he would fall sometimes unexpectedly, or he would be up on a step stool changing the letters above the theater, and it would just tip over. Shortly after that, in the left theater, it started feeling like someone was always watching you. So we would always peek up into like the projector booth to make sure that nobody was standing up there staring at us. And then through the years, it was things that you would notice a little bit more and more. The back of the theater was very eerie because it was just a storage area and it was behind the screens. But it felt alive almost. So then the first big incident where I saw something was right after Devontae became manager. He and I were the only two there, and it was the last set of the night. And I remember it was when we had Paddington Bear. And there was a song at the very end in the credits that I wanted to figure out what it was, so I went in with my phone to try and listen to it so I could download it at some point. So I went in, and I went to the left to go into the cabaret area, and I heard it sounded like two women coming up the right side. And as I was standing in the cabaret area, I looked to my left, and there's an old man walking past me, and I said, "Have a nice night." He didn't respond. He just nodded. So I was like, okay, it's loud. Maybe he didn't hear me. So I'm still standing up there, and this father and young daughter come up they were at the very front of the screen. So they're walking up the left side, and they said, "Hey, it was really cool to have the theater to ourselves." And I thought I misheard them, or they didn't know that there were people sitting behind them because they had gotten there a little bit early. So I come out and I told Devontae, I was like, okay, everybody's gone. He goes, yeah, it was just the guy and his kid. I was like, no, they were the two ladies and then the old guy and then the guy and his kid. He's like, no. I said, yes. So then I went to the ticket booth to check and see what tickets we had sold, and it was just one adult and one child.
So she ends up seeing an old man. Seems like he doesn't acknowledge her.
How rude.
Yeah. The movie theater only had 2 people in it. They come out like, hey, yo, this was kind of nice having the movie theater herself. And she's like, I saw a third person. Well, that third person didn't technically exist. No tickets were sold to that person. Nobody saw besides her. So.
But that person so that person watched the movie for free.
Yeah. CJ, dude,
Wow.
CJ built this shit. He can fucking watch a
Did
movie.
you just call it shit?
Oh my god.
Wow, this is a great theater.
It is a beautiful theater.
It is.
But,
Beautiful theater.
Yeah, so they're giving me all this shit because, I'm professional and ended up with ex-girlfriend. So it was his fucking-
That's the inside joke, guys.
Yeah, that's the inside. She's my ex-girlfriend, but, we're both professionals, and I asked her for the interview.
You are. I'm not.
Because she's been here for 4 years and seen some stuff. So shout out to her. Shout out for Jenny for being cool with it.
Your wife?
My wife.
Who's Jenny?
Asked,
Wife?
she gave me the consent and the permission to be able to do that.
I don't know. I'm just
Why are you off on this tangent? Can you
Yeah.
go
Because
back?
I feel like I have to justify
Anthony.
myself with you guys. You
No,
fucks.
what?
What?
Why?
Anyways,
But you're right.
but yeah.
You have to justify
Jenny's a
yourself.
beautiful person. Jenny's awesome. I love you, Jenny. Cute.
We're not queuing nothing.
Bro, hang on a second. Jake just had the most serious, straight up just, yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So what are we queuing?
We're just gonna cue into not this conversation.
Okay, cue.
Because it had kind of a funky smell, maybe just old, but I remember the time that sticks out the most, Daisy and I were taking the garbage out or throwing boxes back there or something, and the light had gone out in the back, which already made it more eerie, but it smelled like candy. It smelled sweet, like straight sugar.
So she goes the back of the stage, which has been quoted as possibly being CJ's wife. Smells sweet, kind of like perfume, kind of sugary, something interesting.
Why is there's not a lot of room backstage?
No, there's not, and
What
it's
is
kind of
she
like
haunting?
dank.
Yeah.
Kind of what?
Dank.
Dank, yo.
Yeah, it is a. Jesus Christ, dude.
It smells like that good.
Oh shit.
It's legal now.
What
so
is
it
this?
doesn't matter.
What is this episode? Episode number 2. I mean, drastic.
Complete shit show.
Just a complete shit show. We hope you guys enjoy this.
But if you don't, please let us know, and we'll go back to the original.
Yeah.
As Jay said, we're trying new things this time to see what
And
works.
by new things, it means not getting to the point at all
Yeah,
on the podcast.
I feel like this is gonna be forever though. We're for always ever gonna be this way.
Yep.
Tangents
And
shit talking.
honestly,
So if you don't like it,
sorry. I don't know what
we
to say.
said it's wavelength. Did we said it at the same time? That was
It's cute, dude.
freaking adorable.
Did you guys just touch
Can you?
tips?
All right.
We can.
Grow
We've
up.
been. This whole yes, at the table.
What the fuck? I'm not even mad. I'm quite impressed.
We haven't gotten it closer at all. We've been
That was why
quite
my,
distant.
that was
We're
why my cable was
approximately
unplugged
3
earlier.
feet away from each other.
6?
So. 6? Times 2? 3 times 2?
Yeah. 6
That
feet
was why
away.
my cable was unplugged earlier.
Yeah, we unplugged the cable and action. A lot of action underneath
Get
the
me
table.
out of this.
Q, Q?
Q.
All right. Well, before we queue, what are we queuing up?
It's just
So what'd you ask her this time?
what's a good spot to investigate?
Oh, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
I can do my job sometimes.
QQ.
Actor room is where we had to load the movies in, and you would have to sit up there for quite a while, and that's where we put the schedule in and everything. And everyone who was up there by themselves felt like someone was in there with them. A few of us would feel someone like put their hand on our back and pull it down, like rub our back a little bit.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Don't touch Jay. Don't touch Tyler.
Yeah, please don't touch me. I revoke that privilege. Yeah.
That's episode 1 to find out what that means.
Yeah. So some women are saying they've been like caressed, and I don't think it was like in a pervy way. It sounds like just like I don't know. I don't know how.
Definitely pervy.
Definitely, I don't know. I'm trying not to talk shit about somebody dead, so I don't know what his ghost is doing. You know, maybe
Things
he's
were
just trying
different
to-
back
Pervy.
in things were
Maybe
different
he's
back in
trying
the 30s.
to tell them
Pervy.
to
Pervy.
lift-
Still very pervy.
Maybe
just-
he's trying to tell them to lift with their back, not with their back. Don't lift it here, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Touch my
you have
back,
a
Ghost
smooth
Daddy.
back.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Ghost.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. I appreciate it. Don't try not to blow my back out here. All right. So I ended up speaking with 2 workers at work tonight, actually, or last night.
Yeah.
They had some, some small stuff, but I just wanted to. They are a little bit newer. Both of them worked under a year here, and I just wanted to see if it's continue this quote unquote hauntings.
Yeah. See what they've noticed.
Yes. Yes.
So cute.
So hold on a second. Let's just we'll keep
Gotcha.
it from here.
That's much easier.
Yes, I agree. Especially with,
Not it.
can you state your full name for me, please?
There we
So
go.
when I'm cleaning the
We're doing
theaters
this
at
live.
night, and it's usually
What?
We're doing this live.
Okay. So we got it.
Yeah, we got
Alright,
it.
Cool.
rooms, like I'll have the eerie feeling of someone kind of behind my back looking at me as I'm like sweeping the theater, and it's usually coming from the projector room. So I don't know if that's like a good spot to check out or do whatever.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Besides the projector room, is there anything else that that you feel like maybe a hot spot here in the Sterling Theater?
Definitely, probably the basement.
The basement?
Yeah, that's like one of the scariest parts of the downtown theater, I think, because like it gets such a bad vibe. Like
So that was Ethan Evanson. So cool dude. Gave me a small tidbit. And then the next person I talked to was Amanda Thompson, who this was you know how kids can sometimes be, they can see things that we can't.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the story that she ended up giving for us. So we'll get into that about paranormal with children.
Sure.
Well, the one that sticks out mostly in my mind is while we were on quarantine recently, my nephew and I came in, and he's about 4. So we came in to do some cleaning, and he told me that there was a man talking to him, and it was just the 2 of us in here, so it definitely freaked me out a bit.
And did he ever explain to you like what the man looked like?
No, he never said anything about it, and every time I asked him about it, he would never say anything.
When he said he was talking to a man, was he like scared? Was he just like like no big
He
deal?
was just like normal, hey, look, I'm talking to this guy, so he didn't seem afraid. I don't think he really got any like chills or anything about it.
So her 4-year-old nephew just comes up, and movie theater is completely empty. Everything's locked. And I just spoke to this man.
Okay.
Okay.
What did we tell you about talking to strangers?
Yes. You might want to go, rehash that. But with ghost stuff with children, I don't know why, but sometimes children see spirits and ghosts that normal adults can't. And
Innocence.
innocence, maybe. Yeah. So I
The
don't know.
lack of cognitive, logical thought.
Yeah, they don't rationalize it away.
Yeah.
They just accept it for what it is. But super weird. I don't know if I said her name. That's Amanda Thompson.
Yeah,
to,
you did.
okay,
You did.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure
Cool.
I give her a shout out for giving it a
Yeah.
soundbite. So, but that is it. That is my interviews. I spoke with a lot of people. A lot of good
lot of different stories.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Well, good job with those interviews, Officer Adamson. I don't know why that was hard
you.
for me to say for a second.
Thank you,
Son.
Andrew Adamson.
Andrew Adamson.
My middle name is Drew.
Yeah, but okay.
It's not Andrew. You fuck.
Yeah,
Put some respect on that name.
Put some
Put some
respect on it.
respect on it.
Anthony.
Drew.
Slather that respect like
And
chunky peanut
Drew.
butter.
I like chunky peanut
I
butter.
love chunky,
Chunky
peanut butter.
butters for fucking Neanderthals.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's me then.
Get your knuckle dragging ass out of here. Go home.
I love chunky peanut butter.
Why don't you
It's
grow
so good.
up?
It's the crunch.
Ugh.
Was that like a ugh, like gross?
Ugh. No.
Like you don't like it?
Like crunchy peanut butter?
Yeah.
You just said you didn't like.
No,
it.
I said I didn't like it.
You don't like chunky? Like with the actual peanut bits?
No.
I love fucking
Why?
chunky.
I'll just
dude.
eat peanuts.
Yeah, but that is not in like also in with like also peanut butter. So it's
That-
like the mix of the two. All right. All my chunky peanut butter people out there, holla. So let's get back into the what we're supposed to be doing here. Our investigation. So some of the stuff that we came across. Yeah. So Anthony, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So what we ended up doing is we kind of have a thing where we separate and we do solo spots. I did the solo investigation up
Yep.
in the manager's office and the projector room, and then I also went into the light skybox kind of place
Yeah.
where all the lights are. Hey, Tyler, where did you go?
Well, let's say Tyler for last.
Oh, okay. Jay,
Yeah. So I went to the theater. I was just in a boring theater. That's it. And then Tyler was we tossed him down into the basement.
Okay, so I am terrified of doing this stuff. I've never like ghost investigated before, so they're like, yeah, go ahead, you can go sit in the basement. Okay, yeah, that's
by
not a good idea.
yourself.
I legit like the entire time we're here, I'm like, guys, I don't want to fucking do this. This is
like
no.
He almost
oh
pussied
yeah,
out.
like about
Yeah.
15 minutes before he was just standing, his face got straight. And he was like like he's getting himself in the mindset of like, you're gonna do this, pussy.
He's
You're gonna
slapping
do
himself
this.
in the face. Wake up.
You can do it.
Yeah, let's go.
He's listening to Eye of the Tiger on his iPod Shuffle. But
I wish I still had that. Those
dude,
were
iPod Shuffles were the
awesome.
best.
They were amazing.
But yeah, it's like a small base. I don't even know what that basement would be used for.
I
It's
don't-
such a
it's
small
weird.
room. It's like nothing down there. Maybe
Yeah.
just like a little storage, if that.
So yeah, so you go in which it's is a second
theater 2.
Second theater. Yeah. So theater 2, you go out through the back, going kind of towards the alleyway, but there's a back area where it just has like it would be like where the old stage was, I think was what we were
Yeah.
told. So where the original stage was,
You can.
and
There's
then
part of it still there. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. But there's just these stairs. They go down, and there's a door off to would be the right side. It's tiny, like it's maybe like I don't even. It was like maybe 10 by 15 feet.
Yeah, I
or
was-
something
yeah, I
like
was
that.
gonna
It's
say that.
not big at all.
But that's where the
So,
tunnel is.
yeah.
That we talk about.
Yes,
That goes.
the cool part of that is so on the wall when you're looking back there, it's the right wall. You can see into the tunnel that goes back into there. Didn't look super far into it because I'm scared of little bitch.
We say we should get one of those little dolly things that you lay on to go underneath the car when you're like a mechanic. Just throw Tyler on to just push him straight through there.
And then he haunts us because
Please
he
God,
dies.
please God no.
Oh
But
man, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it just me dying.
No,
No.
just pushing somebody in there and see like what they see. Like set a camera with them. You know, that'd be
No,
cool.
not me.
Yeah, well, we didn't. So there we go.
Yeah.
Good.
So
But
anyway,
it's not a big basement. There's like literally no reason for that basement to be
yeah,
there other than the
storage,
Maybe,
maybe.
a tunnel.
Other
Yeah.
than
Probably
maybe
just the
be
tunnel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So,
Probably just for the tunnel.
Yep.
But yeah, so things that we discovered or came across ourselves. I personally did not come across much. We spent 45 minutes investigating, maybe close to an hour
I think it was about an hour.
It was about an hour.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
all together. We all did solo stuff. So we started off with the solo stuff, like Anthony was saying. While he was up in the projector room, I was in theater 2, and Tyler was down in the basement. A couple things, Tyler, you can go ahead and say. You can go ahead and go over what some of the stuff you came across.
Yeah. So as I'm down there trying to not shit my pants because I'm terrified of this. That was me turning on my light. Okay. I heard that this used to have a tunnel that led out of here. Did someone turn off that camera earlier? I've also never done like so along with not doing the ghost investigating a lot, I've never like obviously done it by myself. So I'm like, all right, this is not cool at all. I hate this.
Just thrown into the thick of it.
Whatever.
Best way to learn.
Screw it. So I was like, Jay, can you walk me down here, buddy? Like, you hold my hand.
I did. I walked him down, psyched him up a little bit.
Yep. So
A little pep talk.
Yep. Which I appreciate. Thank you.
Bud.
But had a camera set up down there and just kind of sit in the middle of the room, sort of. Had my phone on recording, asking, just some questions and stuff. The only thing that I had down there, which I don't know if it was weird or terrible equipment. So just what happened about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in roughly, somewhere around there. It was about a minute and a half in. The camera that was up on one of the pipes down there, I had it recording me while I'm talking, and it just shuts off. Like, we had just charged it up. It
Turns off, yeah.
No reason for it to shut off.
While it was recording, yeah.
Yeah. So, and the second part of that, as Jay and I are walking down there, it is recording. I made sure it was on.
Yeah.
The little red dots down there. It's recording. Cool.
Right.
So set it up there, whatever. And like I said, minute and a half in, just shuts off. Like, okay. Please stop! Don't do this to me. Oh my God!
So shake it. You hear the
Right.
little
Yeah,
as
right.
it turns off.
Yeah.
So it's not like it just cut off. It like turned, something turned off.
completely
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get up, I go turn it back on, and I was trying to ask if, hey, I have this device to my left. If you could turn it off again, that would be great. All while I'm over here just shivering like, God, if this turns off again, I'm done.
I can picture like, I have the camera over here. If you could
There's a
turn it off
camera.
again.
Help!
Turn it off, please.
Help!
I'm scared. It's so it didn't turn off. Thank God. I would have ran.
That
up
would have
those
been cool
stairs.
though.
That
That's
would've
what
been-
that's what we're looking
yes.
for though.
That would have been awesome as I'm sitting here talking about it. But
In
would've-
hindsight, it would have been
Yeah,
awesome,
right,
but
yeah.
In the moment, it would have been
Oh, I
shit
would have been
worth it.
done.
Yeah.
Out. I would have just walked out the
It's
back
still a
door.
little weird. The weirdest part about it turning off is a camera can turn off while it's recording, but it'll save the video usually, right? With your camera, it
Yeah.
does.
Yep.
It turned off and it didn't save the video that was recorded.
Yep,
So
when we went back to go and review everything, because that is the other thing we do. We investigate, we record, or investigate, review on the spot, which is cool. And went to go review it, and I started playing one, and I was like, that's weird that this is just the only video that I have. I thought it was longer, but just played it, and that was the one after I turned it back on.
yeah,
There was nothing
prior video
from before.
from the
Scrolled,
recording it first,
Scrolled
right?
all the way through 22 videos on that camera to look and try to find it. Could not
Yeah.
find this minute and a half, or it probably been about 3-minute video, but this really short video of Jay and I walking downstairs, me setting it down and starting to talk. It was gone. I have no idea. I don't know. But
Ghost deleted it.
yep, ghost deleted. So I don't know. It
Yeah.
wasn't anything else really that happened. Few little maybe random noises.
Yeah,
But those weren't really anything though. It wasn't something.
Yeah.
I didn't pick anything up on recording. So
and that was with it your solo, right?
yep.
My solo, I was in theater 2. I didn't get anything. The one thing I saw was a little weird. It could have just been a malfunction with the light itself, but there's these little motion lights for the exit doors down by the plateau of the screen where you would leave to go outside to go exit the back. How most theaters have those exits down there by the screen. There's a little motion light in there. When you walk in there, the light turns on. So I'm looking away. I'm sitting up top at the top where the top seats would be, looking down at the theater. And I look away for a second, look back. The light's on, but I don't necessarily notice it's on because it's dim. And I don't notice it's on until it just turns off again. So it wasn't on. It turned on when I looked away. When I looked back, it turned off. A little weird. Could have been anything. Who knows?
Yeah.
It didn't happen again. So, but other than that, I didn't get anything. I scoured my audio clips that I was recording. No EVPs, nothing like that.
I think that one I did actually hear.
The clicking of the light.
I think I heard the clicking of the light, and it kind of like caught my attention for a second. I'm like, that was nothing. So, but yeah, that.
Yeah, for context, the basement's literally right there in that
directly
exit
below.
area.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go around a corner to another back area where that stage was, and then it's right down into the basement.
Right.
So.
Gotcha.
How about you, Anthony?
I did not find anything, which
Yeah.
was disappointing. Because I am the ghost guy. Like I'm
Yeah.
really
You
into
are
this
the
kind of
ghost
stuff.
boy.
But you know, ghosts.
Hey, we're all
aren't-
ghost boys.
Yeah, ghost boys for life.
Ghost Boy 69.
I'm the ghost bitch. But
We ghosts aren't performers, so we can't. You know,
Some are.
well,
Some are.
Some are, but some aren't.
CJ's not.
CJ's not. So either he's not here, maybe he's. You know, we'll talk about that after. We'll talk our opinions on it after
Yeah.
the fact, after we get out of. So what we did after, I guess the closest thing I had was when I was listening to it. It sounded like some papers were rustling in the office because I left the mic sitting by itself in the office for a little bit, and that could have been, a mouse or it could have been
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that paranormal.
Yeah.
Now, we did a group investigation where we did it around CJ's picture, which was the picture that Devontae talked about being possibly haunted because it was flipped towards the wall and all that crazy shit happened, and then it got put back on the wall and everything kind of calmed down. So, Jay, what did we find during that group investigation?
Group investigation. There was a couple things. So, last episode we didn't use a device called a spirit box. So we sat down in the front area, the front entrance walkway, vestibule area. There's a little nook. It's like a concave nook that you could sit down on a little stools there, little bleacher area
Yeah.
by the
it just
entrance
got like a
concession.
big, like, it's like rounded off.
Like a U
like
shape,
a half circle,
yeah,
pretty
like a half
much,
circle.
and
There you
there's
go.
just a couch
That's
that
what I was
goes
thinking. I
around.
don't know why I couldn't. I don't know why my brain couldn't comprehend half circle.
It's late.
Maybe because it's
Yeah.
like probably 5 in the morning right now, and like yeah.
And I'm becoming dumb.
Right.
I'm not becoming. I started off professional idiot. That's what I said in the beginning. So whatever I say, I'm under that umbrella. Screw you guys. Not the listeners. You guys are awesome. These two. Screw these two. But I love you guys. Anyway, moving on.
I'm
So
married, so please don't.
no, too bad. Already done. So we're sitting down
Jenny.
there. Anthony, since he is more into the equipment of the super, so I'm more of the audio equipment guy. He's more of the supernatural equipment guy. Do you want to explain what a spirit box is?
So what Spirit Box is it takes FM or AM radio signals, and then you know how you have your normal scan in your car, where it'll jump from channel to channel, very slowly, so you can kind of listen to the song. I don't want to listen to this, and then it'll automatically skip. Well, this takes that on steroids, and it skips it at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
So like it'll be static, like a and then it'll hit a station, and then a word may pop up or nothing will pop up, and it's said that it's easier for spirits to communicate with static and radio signals because it takes less energy. So what they'll do is they'll stop the radio station as it's skipping through on a specific word and try to communicate a sentence or communicate a yes or no answer or something
Right.
like that.
So we were sitting there doing that, and we got a couple things that are a little weird.
It's a spirit box. What this will do is it'll scan through the radio stations, and you can try to communicate to us. So, are you here, CJ? you happy the theater is still running?
Maybe coincidence, but a little too accurate to be a coincidence. One of the things here, I'm gonna cue this up real quick. Cue. Anthony asks a question, and we get what sounds like an answer.
How many people are here with us right now? Did you say 6?
So yeah, it sounded like he said 6. I can play it again real quick. Just turn it up a little bit more for you.
How many people are here with us right now?
Yeah, sounds like he says
Yeah.
6.
That's what we all kind of like.
Looked at each other, like,
Oh,
answered with a
that was
number.
an actual answer.
And
So-
then after that, so okay, well, let's ask another question. Sounds like they're answering. He asks, "Are you stuck here?" And this is the answer that we get back.
Are you stuck here?
Sound like it says stuck.
Yeah. Play that again.
A little perfect.
Are you stuck here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely stuck.
I didn't hear that live
Yeah,
at all.
Me either. But this is what we do. We get these recordings, we sit down, and we review them. And this is one of the things I found. So I'm gonna play it one more time just because it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's almost too coincidental
Yeah. Yeah.
for it to be exactly that word.
Yes.
So I just want to listen to it again. Sorry if it's a little loud in the beginning. I'll fix that here in a second. Here.
Are you stuck here?
Yeah, that's 100% stuck.
And it sounds, and most of the time it's been a female voice.
Yeah, that first one when he said 6 was a male voice.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we got a male and a female and they're stuck here.
Right. That's 100% stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used this box before, and this is the first time I've ever gotten results with it.
Yeah.
And I've used it a few times. So at a few different locations. So, maybe something.
Maybe something.
Maybe something.
We can't say it isn't or is or isn't because we don't have enough definitive proof. We didn't really catch much in the way of it being haunted, but that little thing right there is kind of a little iffy.
With that one, there did you find one that we thought it was sure?
Yeah.
It wasn't anything.
No, it was
Okay.
nothing close to it.
So there was one that we did too that was I said what was it? Can you reach out and touch Anthony or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And it sounded like what it said.
Reference
Sure.
in the
What it
episode
was,
1
yeah, it
reference,
sounded like
yeah.
sure,
But-
but yeah.
But obviously we
Yeah.
did some further debunking and
Yeah.
debunked it.
Yep,
So
cool.
But yeah, so I think to be honest, that's one of the coolest little sound bites we got
had
there.
so far, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that pretty much sums up our investigation. Do you have anything that we missed here?
No, like I said, I don't know if it's haunted or not.
Personal preference, personal opinion. What do you think? I personally don't think it's haunted. Haunted from it's hard. Well, it's hard to say from one day.
So I'll be the devil's advocate here, and I'll say I don't think it's haunted. I think maybe CJ visits from time to time,
Yeah.
and I think maybe
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe he checks in on the Sterling
Yeah.
Theater just to see how it's being ran, because like you said in the preview, he put in all that effort and all that blood and sweat and tears into a dream that he had,
Yeah.
and he wants to make sure it's running.
Yeah, like I don't. So haunted usually implies something is stuck here, like it says stuck. Which maybe something is stuck here. I don't know, but that's the only thing we caught. So I wouldn't say that it's haunted but there might be something here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it just depends on your definition of haunted.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it could be that he was stuck, and then when they, you know, what we talked about last podcast, how sometimes they feel like things need to be righted before they can pass over.
Unfinished business.
Yeah, unfinished business. Maybe just having his picture so we could look over his business that he started. You know, they said that they flipped the picture and then the hauntings pretty much stopped and
Flipped it back.
flipped it back.
Yeah, flipped it
So
back.
they
Actually
flipped it
hung
and then
it
hung
up
it.
and,
Yeah,
like
so-
downstairs.
Yeah,
for
because
everyone
it
to
was
see 'em.
up in the office.
Yeah.
Just sitting
When did
there.
they hang it down?
What?
When did they hang it up?
That same when things stopped being crazy, like when everything started working normal and they stopped hearing as many noises and
Because
stuff.
when it was flipped back around, it was like the projectors were going all weird and they couldn't explain it, like all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, and then what you're saying is after they put it down in, like that auditorium.
yeah.
area,
When you walk
so-
into the door, immediately to the right on the wall is his picture.
Yeah.
So they hung it up there out of respect because they felt like he was upset that he couldn't see what was going on in his business.
Yeah.
And then after that, things kind of calmly
sort
subsided.
of died down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, people will get the creepy feeling that people are watching him, but like when it comes to like big stories like him, you know, breaking projectors or showing up or anything like that, that sounds like that was poster hang maybe, or picture hang.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on the time frame, but maybe he just comes in and checks out and say, "Hey, what's up?" So
Yep.
yo, what's up?
Yo, it's me, CJ.
It's your
here
boy
checking up on
CJ.
my
What's up, what's
bitch. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. So, you guys have anything else to add?
I think that's it. We really appreciate Sterling Theater.
Yeah.
Please,
Thank you, Sterling Theater,
absolutely.
for allowing us the time to be here. I know how awkward and weird it can be for a building store owner to allow 3 dudes to basically stay the night in their building unsupervised, but we appreciate it wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this, for giving us the opportunity to be here, and, you know, Ghost Nut.
Yeah, dude, Ghost Nut, show them some support. So
Yeah. But anyway, that sums up episode number 2. Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. If you enjoyed this show, if you enjoyed what we do, and you want to hear us do this more, it's not free for us. It costs money. If you want to show your support, head on over to the closest internet browser you have in the URL.
even if it's Internet Explorer,
Even
you
if it's
fucking
Internet
bum.
Explorer, you fucking bum. Type in paypal.me/The Haunting Table. Show us what we're worth to you and how much you want to help us grow and be better. Because this episode was, it was a little all over the place. No big story for this one, like I said earlier. We also want to know what you would prefer. Do you like what we did today versus episode number 1? Let us know. Our handles for Instagram is haunting_table, and Twitter is same for Instagram, haunting_table. Go over to Twitter, go over to Instagram, message us, tweet us, let us know what you think. But yeah, so we do have somebody to thank for episode 1.
Yes.
We did have a donor, our very first donor, Michael DeJesus of Illinois. Thank you so much for your help. And he left a little note there. He said he wanted to be the first donation on the next big podcast. So thank you very much, Michael. You are the
Thanks for the
best.
support,
Everybody, clap for Michael. Thank you. Appreciate you, Big Mike.
Michael.
Appreciate the donation. Yes, and if you want to, for the time being, if you go and you want to help produce the show with monetary value, whatever you want, even if you have information of a place that you want to help us get into to do an investigation, to record an episode, let us know.
Yep.
But like I said, paypal.me/The Haunting Table. Any sort of amount that you send, you can write a note and we'll read it live on the podcast. I'll give you a shout out. For the time being, if it gets to a point where we're getting a handful of donations and it takes up too much time to read them off, then we might not. But
We may just read off names.
But for now. Yep.
we might set like a value limit, like $50 or more. We'll read it off. But for the time being, you send us something.
If you put $1, we'll make it rain.
Yeah, I don't know about $1. I don't want Somebody's gonna send.
$1.50 at least.
Someone's gonna have like
and
$15
then-
to spare. They're gonna be like, I'm sending $1 at a time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout out every episode.
$1
No.
a dollar, baby.
No, but anything helps. Anything helps to get us to the next spot because it's not free. So, paypal.me/haunting table, Instagram, Twitter, haunting_table. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. It has been a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
You guys have
Pleasure's
anything else
always
to add?
I love you guys. Thank you for listening. It really, all the support has been amazing. Like, seriously.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep.
This kind of shit is my favorite, and we would love to keep doing it. So
And these,
show us what we're
Yep.
worth to you.
these boys are my favorite cue in the song.
Cue in the song. Have a good
cue.
night, morning, or whatever. But also, good night, sweet dreams. What was it?
And happy hunting.
And happy
Happy
haunting.
haunting.
Yeah, boy, that's my line. Let's go.
Hey.